If you've got gear, put it in a box. Good afternoon to YouTube. A while ago, I purchased a gear rack and put that on my van some time ago. And when I bought this rack, well, I also got a box, which makes total sense. And this has been sitting in my garage for a long time, and it's time to probably get this thing drilled and onto the van. So this is an aluminum gearbox. I know there's some carbon fiber models out there. This is just solid aluminum or aluminum sheet. It's just aluminum gearbox. I got this one from Tecvan. They're local to me, and I got this during like a Black Friday flash sale. This is one of their display models or shop models, so they gave me a pretty good discount on it. It wasn't brand new, but whatever. It was about saving. So it did have some holes in the back I had to patch, but not a big deal. They are all nice and sealed and not gonna leak. They had one that was a little smaller, and I opted for the larger one. I figure very few people would complain about having more space. Obviously vans get pretty tight, so why spend money on something that has a little less space? So the size of this gearbox, you've got 18.5 inches deep, 21 3/4, we'll call it 22 wide, and the height is just about 40 inches. Comes with 2 keys, twist locks there, hydraulic lid, and you've got, this is a little tight, there we go. A little easier to do it when it's on the van, but there's what the inside of the box looks like. The intention for this is to put in maybe an extra tank or a jerry can just for some diesel, probably some firewood, maybe like a hatchet, just various things that you don't want to put in the van, stuff that gets wet, maybe some tarps, gloves, whatever you can come up with. Now, before I put the gear rack on the van, I had placed the gear rack on top of this box and mapped out a bunch of holes and just locations. So there's way more markings than what I would actually need for holes, but it gives me an idea and options on where to drill. So I'm figuring I might use 6 bolts for this to hold it up. They initially had 4, that's probably plenty. I'll probably overdo it and have 6. So these are the bolts I'm going to use for attaching this gearbox. They're like a stainless steel. It's got an Allen key on the side. It's already got some Loctite thread locker on that. I think this is like an M8 size bolt. This should be enough to get through the rack and the box, and nut and washer on the inside, and good to go. And one thing that I didn't catch when I was installing this gear rack and didn't really film, but you got to be careful when installing this. So this thing was actually looking really twisted. I was able to fix a little bit, so we'll see what happens when this gearbox goes in. But if you kind of look down the line, the box is going to be flat. Well, this top kind of flared out. So I don't know how, when you start cranking this onto the gearbox onto it, well, you can't really start twisting the box, because that's going to mess with the doors and the latches. So this will be interesting when we get this on and see how the box sits against this rack. And we may have to loosen the rack and get it flush to the box and then retighten it to the van. Now or never, I guess. Perfect. I got the holes drilled. Now the terribly awkward part. So I got bolts through where they're going to be in the back. It is very awkward to reach behind here and get these in. I got an Allen key in this bolt. I'm going to prop this gearbox on this and hopefully can kind of do the reach around and see what happens. This is going to be something. I think when it's all said and done, I'm going to name this van the Struggle Bus. I'm going to get Samantha to help me. There you go. Look at that. Boom.
Boom.
Wait, one more.
There's no... You want to do an
from the
action
inside?
shot?
Be like so.
Okay, action shot. Whee! Look at that, folks. Inside the box. Oh, I'm bad at this. Woo-hoo. And this is what we got going on. Not much to see there. More action.
One bolt left.
Good job.
And then right in the box with you.
You missed some.
All right, let's close it and see what happens.
Ooh, fancy. Box.
The door's weightier, that's for sure.
Yeah, how heavy is it gonna be with stuff in it?
Ooh.
Is it hard to close?
The whole thing's like...
Yeah, what's it gonna be like driving around with weight in there?
Well, we're gonna find out. Everybody else does it. There, you wanna close it?
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay, I'll try. Close it right?
Well, does it look closed?
I don't.
Yeah.
Alright, it's not so bad.
Alright, high five. We did it. Alright. There you go, folks. One box. So that wraps up an installation of a Tecvan gearbox. I presume a lot of these are all similar, Tecvan and Owl, and I don't know, all the 200 brands of boxes that exist these days, but there we go. It's on there. Could have, yeah, that needs to be. There we go. Unfortunately, I can't open my door fully because I'll hit the gutter up there to the 180 degrees, but yeah, it's in, it locks. So this gives you an idea on what it looks like in the back. Hold on, that's front. Let's not do that. So it looks really big from this angle, but yeah, maybe I'll stick with trailer hitch. Anyway, that's a reasonably quick install on a Tecvan gearbox. I think this took us maybe 30 minutes or something on the longer end. Call it like maybe a 2-hour process by the time you drill the holes and put the box in. It's a little awkward to get in there, but it's just what it is, right? Like, how do you get your hands back there to hold things? But all in all, really happy. Got her all locked up and look forward to putting gear into my box. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.